So when I first came back, I'm like, wow, I'm Vietnamese and I'm home. So even though I've been in the U.S. for many years and also American, and I think and act like an American a lot, but I'm also Vietnamese, and so I decided to come back because I know that Vietnam is on its path to become an awesome place, and I'm just so excited to be part of that culture and part of that transition.
That sounds interesting.
Really.
Hi guys, welcome back to Nguyen Channel. It is Saturday again, and guess what? I am having another interesting interview with another interesting guest. Let's welcome Henry Bao.
Hi. Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here. I've watched some of your episodes and I love your style, man. You're just so natural. And, you just got a big smile on your face, and it's I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, Henry Bao here. I am Vietnamese American. I actually grew up in Vietnam until the age of 15, and for the past 16 years I've lived mostly in the U.S., so I'm also American.
Yeah.
But I've lived for 5 years in England, France, and Singapore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of, you have been exposing yourself to different cultures.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say I'm a global citizen. I really feel that way. For me, home is a feeling, and it's where I feel the most home, and I feel the most home right now in Vietnam and right here with you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So actually, guys, this is the very first episode that I have done with a kind of Vietnamese American. How do you consider yourself a American or Vietnamese American or 100% Vietnamese?
It's so interesting because have you heard of the term third culture kid?
No.
A third culture person is somebody who is sometimes have to find a way to fit into a new place. And I feel like all my life, that's what I've been doing a lot. My stepfather is French, so I grew up speaking French. My mom's Vietnamese. So already in my family, it's very multicultural. But then I moved to Singapore for high school, and then again, I'm a Vietnamese kid, also kind of French, but in Singapore. And I moved to the US, and then now American, but I'm also Vietnamese and French. And so constantly, I have to be so adaptable to new situations. I've grown to be so empathetic to people, and I just love traveling as a result as well.
Wow, that's so cool. Right, so how long have you been living in Vietnam?
I came back in January, so it's been almost 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
How good is your Vietnamese at the moment compared to 6 months ago?
It's gotten so much better. I feel like when I first came back, even though I grew up here until I was 15, I got a sense of reverse cultural shock, meaning I have to again kind of find a place here to fit in. And also Vietnam itself has changed so much. Vietnam is now a super cool place with a ton of awesome expats. And the economy of Vietnam is growing so fast. And when I came back, I'm like, I really love, when did Vietnam become so cool? And so I would say it's been a process, but it's been a super fun journey. Yeah.
Cool.
Rediscovering my home country.
Wow, that's so
cool.
cool.
In all the ways.
Yeah.
In all the ways.
So you left Vietnam when you were when you were 15 something?
I was 15. But already growing up in Vietnam, I would say my childhood wasn't like the typical childhood, right? My dad's French, my mom's Vietnamese. I went to international school. So I would say, yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about your very first experience living in America when you first settled down in America. Did you actually suffer a lot of culture shock in a whole new, different country?
I feel like, so I've been to over 30 countries, very luckily but every time I go to a new place, I went to Egypt, Africa last December.
Cool.
I was in Europe as well last December, and every time I go to a new place, it's it's gotten to a point where it's become kind of strangely familiar to do that. So yes, when I first went to the US many years ago, I did experience this is completely new culture. The US is humongous, right? Really big country, but people are so friendly. I mean, I've also become very American in that I'm extremely outgoing and easygoing now.
Yeah.
But when I first went, definitely there was an adjustment period. As I think anywhere else, new company, new community. I think everywhere you need to be adaptable.
That's I think that's a really right way for every single one, who just come to a new country, right?
Yeah.
Were there a lot of Vietnamese community living in the neighborhood where you lived before in America?
When I first went to the U.S. for college, there was not a lot of Vietnamese people around me. I was there was the one of 5 people, Vietnamese people in my entire university.
Wow, just like so little, just a few.
Yeah, but people become really fascinated with my background. They're like, oh, you're. So I also go by Bao. They're like, Bao! Bao! Like,
That's so cool.
Yell my name across this freshman quad. You know, my name is very easy to yell.
Yeah.
So I became like, and also I'm very proud to be of Vietnamese origin. So I was so eager to share my background, the spring rolls, like different food, and there's this Vietnamese restaurant in my town, and I would just love taking people there and introduce them to all the food.
That's so cool.
This durian, which so durian is so interesting because some people cannot eat durian.
Yeah.
Right.
Like most Caucasian people don't like it at all.
It's either they really love it, they're like, what is this? So it's either both. But I love taking people to the Vietnamese restaurant, just introducing different dishes, like pho and beyond.
Interesting. So what is it like being like a Vietnamese American?
Dude, this is some deep questions.
Sorry, it makes it really deep.
It's
like,
so interesting.
You feeling really proud about it, right? Your own identity compared to like other people.
I think being American is about being just I feel like empowerment to be able to do anything that I want to, because there's a lot of freedom being in the U.S. It's a country of freedom, right? So
True.
Liberty, freedom. Being Vietnamese for me I feel like I have really good work ethics, very hardworking. Watching my mom raise me, I think big part of being Vietnamese is being really hardworking.
True.
The two together, I think, give me a lot of advantage in the workplace. I feel like I'm also very empathetic to people. But being Vietnamese American is something that I thought only more about when I came back to Vietnam. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a combination of those things. But I think of myself as a global citizen, really. And I think that's a trend that people will be more
Really?
People in Vietnam as well. But like,
I want to be like that, but I am too old, you know. I am too old to be a global citizen.
Dude, 30s and new 20s. You're in your 20s.
Well, thank you so much for that. That's really encouraging to me.
Really good skincare.
Yeah, I definitely need that. Tell the audience a little bit about your educational background. Like, what did you study before in the U.S. and what did you do like before coming back to Vietnam?
Yeah, high school in Singapore, college in the U.S., and then I did a fellowship in England. Also studied in France.
So interesting.
But just been very grateful, mostly on scholarships.
Wow, you got scholarship?
Almost throughout my entire education.
Wow, really? What a talented guy you are.
I was very good at writing essays. And,
oh, wow.
I'm just, I feel very, very grateful for life. But yeah, after college, I moved back to the U.S. and I was a management consultant working for big companies, and then a marketing director working for big brands like Tesla, a hotel brand, Starwood Hotels, an education brand, and investment firms.
Wow.
And it's been 10 years. And so when I came back in January, I wasn't sure if I was going to stay here that long. But this every single day, the more I stay here, the more I fall in love with my home country again. The people, the food, obviously, is dangerously too good, also. But the opportunities. Vietnam is on track to become a middle-income country, or even developed country in the next 30 to 40 years.
Yeah.
So now we are on this wave, and it's exciting to be back here with really talented people like yourself, and be able to somehow make an impact in the ways that I can.
Wow, that's really meaningful. Yeah, I hope that we will have a lot more contribution to your motherland, mother hometown. Okay. Well, you know what? Like a lot of people keep talking about like the so-called like American dream, and that's the fact that a lot of people still want to pursue the American dream by trying hard to go to the U.S. But as a Vietnamese American yourself, why you decided to come back to Vietnam?
I feel like in the U.S. I have a good background. There's also a ton of people with really good background. So I'm like I feel like a fish in a big pond. But here I feel like the country now can really use people like me. When I first came back, I'm like, wow, I'm Vietnamese and I'm home. So even though I've been in the U.S. for many years and also American, and I think and act like an American a lot, but I'm also Vietnamese. And so I decided to come back because I know that Vietnam is on its path to become an awesome place. And I'm just so excited to be part of that culture and part of that transition.
That sounds interesting.
Really, super exciting time.
Yeah. So like marketing is your field, right?
Yeah.
But rumor has it that like you're actually trying something new, something cool now. So what is that? Can you share with the audience?
I'm also an MC, guys. My short-term goal is to become a bilingual MC here, and hosting events, maybe even getting on TV for some programs. But it's something that I truly enjoy doing, hosting.
Yeah.
And making people feel comfortable, like they're in my living room, like what Long is doing right now. I feel like we're like already pals, you know. So that's my immediate goal. But in the future, I want to be able to continue doing this on a bigger world stage, with different messages and platforms. It's a very exciting time.
Yeah, you have a full of potential to be, you know, a very professional and amazing bilingual MC.
Thank you.
Given the fact that your English is just like excellent, right? That is something like that. There is no doubt. But his Vietnamese is actually getting really better, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, compared to like 6 months ago, right?
It's so funny. My mom used to keep, it's called Số Linh Lạc, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, report card, scorecard from my elementary school. I was reading it again. Elementary school and middle school. I got like 9.0.
Wow, really? That's outstanding.
Like A for my literature. So my Vietnamese, actually, you guys used to be pretty decent.
Yeah.
I even competed in Versatile, handwriting competition. So it used to be pretty decent. So it's not like looking at those Số Linh Lạc, again, the report cards.
Yeah.
It's like literally, I feel like I'm refighting my childhood and refighting my place in Vietnam. Although it's been like 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's coming back to me, my Vietnamese, and I've made a commitment now to become also truly bilingual, meaning also good at Vietnamese and English.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Watching the video, I think that there's a lot of course, the video is for like English-speaking people, and I'm sure that there will be a lot of like overseas Vietnamese, like young generation like you, for example.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to say something to the audience about Vietnam, so what it could be.
Hey guys, Vietnam is an amazing place with just the friendliest people in the world. Trust me, I've been to over 30 countries. Really, they're just so down to earth and very humble. They're often pretty complex people, which is why it's such a fascinating culture. But Vietnam is on a path to become an awesome place to live, and getting before it's getting while it's still possible. It's just been the best experience. Eating the food, meeting the people, traveling all over the world, and all over Vietnam, I meant. And if you have other questions about coming back to Vietnam, feel free to reach out to me or Long, and maybe see you in Vietnam sometime.
If you consider traveling to Vietnam, make it happen soon, right?
Exactly.
All right. You talked to me earlier that like you did not really use Vietnamese a lot while you were in America. So when coming back to Vietnam, I think it was really struggling and challenging at the beginning. And how did you catch up with Vietnamese? Are there any very funny, awkward moments or experience about the language when you first came back?
Definitely. So Vietnamese is so interesting because, well, first of all, it's a tonal language. So I used to also learn Chinese. So like Chinese, it's a tonal language. So I feel like a lot of my friends who are French, American, when I first learned the language, maybe they don't know the tones as well, so it become like a single word. If you change the tone, it's a different meaning, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
like ma.
All six different words, guys. The same spelling.
Yeah.
6 different words.
Yeah.
But also, it's a country with extremely diverse geography. From the north to the south, the words people use are different. So recently I went to Hanoi, right? And it's my first time in Hanoi, actually. And even the words I use there is different in the South. But any piece of advice I could give is just immerse yourself in the culture.
That's true.
Like anywhere, really. But in Vietnam, because people are so friendly and they welcome you with open arms. Just go to the street vendor and talk to them, right?
Yeah.
Or join English speaking club and then give back by conversing with local people.
Yeah.
They really love you.
Yeah, true.
They're just so friendly.
Yeah. In general speaking, like Vietnamese people are really hospitable and friendly, and it's so easy for you to actually like strike up a conversation with a stranger like right on the street. So guys, we've been talking a lot about Henry's Vietnamese, but let's check how good it is by challenging him, right? So Henry, are you ready for your Vietnamese performance?
Dude, I'm born ready.
All right. All right. So let's pick something that you feel most excited to share about. What you really eager to want to share about.
Two things. Number one is the food here, and number two is the different destinations here, travel.
How about a short introduction about Vietnam in Vietnamese?
Okay, sure.
He ambassador now.
Xin chào các bạn. Việt Nam là một đất rất là đẹp. Bản thân Henry là mẹ Henry là người travel ở miền Tây sông nước. Và một tháng vừa qua Henry rất may mắn đã được đi Hạ Long, Hà Nội, Sapa, Đà Lạt, Đà Nẵng, Hội An. Và mình rất là hào hứng vì có những địa điểm mình chưa đi và sẽ được đi. Nói chung là những bạn thích du lịch thì Việt Nam là number one.
Yay! Wow! Hey guys, what do you think about his Vietnamese? Very on point, right? Okay. So I want to make it even more challenging. All right. Because he's gonna be like the professional bilingual MC later on. There's no doubt his English is on point, excellent, right? But I want you to challenge yourself with a like the introduction to an event, whatever, in Vietnamese.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm just gonna channel you, okay? Let's see how this goes.
Alright.
Mến chào quý vị và các bạn đã quay trở lại với chương trình của Nguyen Channel. Chương trình được phát sóng định kỳ hàng tuần vào thứ Bảy hàng tuần trên kênh YouTube. Và chúng tôi lúc nào cũng có những vị khách hết sức là thú vị cho các bạn đấy. Các bạn sẵn sàng chưa?
Yeah, sẵn sàng rồi. Why? Being a bilingual MC, that we need to actually learn the two languages at the same time. But I think your Vietnamese is getting really good.
Thank you.
Much better than a lot of overseas Vietnamese American that I ever met before.
Right.
So keep up with the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Cool.
I'm learning from the best.
Yeah. No, I'm not that bad.
I'm absorbing his energy. Give it to me.
Well, there's always things to learn from other people, right?
Yeah.
I think I can learn a lot from you. Maybe I go to the gym to work out and be like in one day.
Oh, yeah.
Just.
Dude, you gotta be ready. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna hustle.
All right, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Hey guys, as you can see, today I have a whole new setting for the video. That's because of MC Academy. So I think that I'm so lucky to have this whole setting. And again, thank you, MC Academy, for this opportunity. That's good for now, and see you next time. Bye.